Yeah, I mean, you can't really. It's really hard to predict other people's, other players' drop spots, right? Especially with the new map changes.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're playing. There's different regions, and yeah, it's just really hard to predict. And sometimes you just have to step back, go into, like, maybe drop somewhere else and try your luck elsewhere. But yeah, a lot of places are contested.
Well, here you go then. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 is very much underway. Gentlemen, take it away.
All right, so start things off with our first round victor. It's going to be Bizzle here in Dusty Divot. He's able to get, I believe, like you said, the 4 eliminations. And let's see if he can do it another time here, as he's pretty much going to be uncontested at the moment. You got Myth as well, who had a really good game, actually took down Kripa. And for a player who's had such a rough time these last few months, it's great to see he's come into this, ready to go and already performing well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, he did take down Kripa, and that must give him somewhat of a confidence boost. Just going into taking down a European player and showing, yeah, NA's here ready to show you how good we are. And yeah.
Forget NA. I think it's just, I'm here to play. I'm here to perform.
That's right.
Got this elimination. Forget NA. I don't care about them. I care about me. And we're seeing some action over towards the volcano as well. 72 Hours had landed there using these vents as well to get some quick loot and potentially get out. I still want to see some Conga, though. I want to see some Conga lives being built up here. Maybe in the duos.
And he's uncontested here, and that's what I love about Volcano. You can just, like, fly around, make sure you pick up all of that loot. If you engage in a fight, you could just, I mean, you could just use those vents to your advantage and dip out, or, I mean, just go aggressive as well. And here's beautiful Tomato Temple. We have Jarl here. Looks like he's contested by someone, not quite sure. There's a third player as well making his way down the hill here.
0-7, unfortunately, has fallen there. So again, one of our Chinese players is going to be eliminated, as Animal was able to secure that one. We're going to see Milan, though, again, the Prodigy, 28 HP. Not the best of places so far. Aspect again has gone down. I think it was to Margin, or Magan, sorry. That was 2 games in a row that he's lost his drop. And we were just talking about that, theorizing what can happen in these situations. Do you continue to go for it? In the meantime, Milan is trying to run away from Animal, who's just hunting him down, trying to get this in with stink bombs. And Milan, he's just looking for an escape route, but I don't think he's going to have a chance here, Martin.
He does have a shotgun, so he might get a lucky shot, but I mean, goes down to 8 health. If he manages to get a lucky shot, he might be able to take this, but it's not looking too good for Milan. We'll try to make it out here. We have a third player making his way into Snobby, so this could be just what Milan needs to make it right. Yeah, look, Animal and Ares now in a little fight here.
So somehow Milan gets lucky, summons Ares to come over here and help him out somehow. And now Animal's not able to chase on the limit, and he's gonna lose his life. He almost had the elim onto Milan and Ares. I don't know if he knows, but he just saved Milan's life.
Oh, he did, and I'm not even sure he knows Milan is still there. Milan just made his way a bit, like, switch houses. Maybe he'll find some heals, and yeah, he got a free pass.
And Eric, who dropped to Demo before his first big tournament here, is looking to have a little bit of a change of fate here into round 2. He will have Jordan, one of the 2 Australian twins. Seth, in the meantime, throwing a boogie bomb, I think that was, in towards Eric, looking to catch him out. And he even has the heavy sniper as well, but I believe he's not looking for any sort of safely transition into the next zone. Dementos, Hupek, and Jesse now in a 1v1v1 battle with Jesse on the high ground. Hupek trying to fight his way through here, and Dementos just hoping that all this fighting stops and he's able to just run away.
Well, Jesse does have that redeploy, so he can make his way out of there. Does not want to be a part of this. Dementus just camping a little bit with his campfire, making sure that, all right, I'm going to stay safe here. You guys do whatever you want. I'm going to chill back. And I mean, it looks like both players dipped out.
Look at this. Milan is still alive. He was down to, what, like sub 20 HP before. He's like at 18 health in that little bit of a battle he had where Ares came out and bailed him out up against, I think that was Animal.
Yeah, and made it all the way from Snobby as well. Oh, Majin not looking too good here over at the Tivoli. Keemstar does have the high ground, and Skix just waiting it out a little bit. I'm not sure if they know that Magin is low, both of them at least, but just a little bit of a standoff here.
It's actually a name we haven't even talked about yet, Kinstar. Been very impressed with his, I don't know, his gameplay over this, last practically year when we've seen him in these tournaments. I've been pleasantly surprised by him, but unfortunately, I don't think he's been pleasantly surprised with the results he's gotten. And so far right now, he's not looking in the greatest of positions. But again, with the siphon factor, you could easily turn this bad position into a good one if you can get these elims. And he also has a rift if he needs to get away.
Yeah, that's right. The bottle rocket's doing some work. I believe they did 20 damage to Majin there. Just going to reposition a little bit. As you mentioned, he did have the rift, so he can make his way out. Majin's inventory looking pretty good though. He does have that close.
I feel like I have to be perfect. There's something about fear that pushes me.
Range to long range, he does have some rotation items, and not to mention the 6 clingers.
Yeah, and those clingers can be huge here too. A couple of replays. Bowman has gone down. This is the fight we saw with Ares. He's able to actually save Milan somehow, and Myth, unfortunately, just getting caught in the back. Crippa sticks him with the clinger right there.
Yeah, oh, he actually got the stick off. I didn't see that. I thought he got the hit off a headshot. Oh.
And the thing is, he stuck with it, and he shot him in the head after. So it's like, all right, that's just even more disrespect for you. I'm just going to eliminate you in any way I possibly can with any damage. As Nutty Hive was in a 1v1 there, too, able to win out on that. I think Jin actually just won a fight, too. He's got the 1 elimination, even lower on HP. Yeah, he's been very rough.
Must have picked someone off. His health is a little bit lower. I believe he is using a campfire right now. Oh, Sting's coming in from Seth as Jesse's trying to push his way up here.
Thing is, Storms as well starting to center around that northeast side, which was the part of the map that's been changed the most, if I'm not mistaken here, Martin. So things are going to be very interesting to see how things transition from there on. You see Seth now looking to go for the push in onto Jesse.
Ooh, hiding
inside using the using the storm to hide, so he actually doesn't take as much damage.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. If you are being gate kept through the zone, you could just use the storm to your advantage and rotate inside the storm rather than just trying to push your way out when someone's in there. Like,
well, not only was Seth fighting Jesse, now he's fighting Jordan as well. He's got the twins here, and Jordan actually causes a little bit of traction. He hits the shot. He gets the shield now gone. The heavy sniper doing some serious work.
I believe he did hit the quad there actually,
no.
not him, but we have Storm Surge coming in, but you see that Seth is above the threshold. He doesn't need to take this fight, but if you're confident, I mean, what do you do? Oh, gets a little bit hurt there.
But he doesn't have a shotgun, Martin. He doesn't have the greatest equipment to fight up close and personal. He's trying to out-heal here with the bandits now. Only 2 left to go, so he's not going to stay healthy for a long time. In the meantime, Envy has fallen, though, as he only, I believe, 1 elimination this round.
Jordan does have 10 bandages, though, so he can take his sweet time. It's a little bit more annoying for Seth here, who only seemed to have 1 bandage. And yeah, it's going to be a standoff here until Seth... I mean, do you think Seth will try to push up here, or will he just make his way out? I would make my way out, and it looked like he is.
Well, can he get away from this? He's out of healing. Storm is taken away. I think he has to look for the fight now against Jordan. He needs that extra 50 HP, and Jordan's more than happy to not give him the opportunity for it, as you saw Seth there in a split second was able to go for a shot. Vivid, though, in the meantime, not in a great position here, Martin.
Yeah, Alpha versus Vivid, and Vivid was actually Alpha's duo partner, Bowman's partner back in the secret skirmish. So they have maybe a little fight here to see. Bowman belongs to me. Vivid a bit low here. 14 health and in the storm and no heals. He does have to finish this up now. Oh, hits the beautiful pump. Alpha eventually goes down.
A crucial elimination for him. He was most certainly going to fall to the storm. He's got some bandages, so he's most certainly going to be able to make his way through, but that was too close for comfort. But that's what you see out of the top players, to realize the situation you're in and be able to make the right decision at the right time.
And here we have it over by Lagoons. Jamside trying to claim the wall from this, but I mean, what can you really do here? He's trying to claim the wall. All he has to do is claim it, edit, and get that pump shot. But he just can't claim this wall.
He's got to be careful that his opponent doesn't take a window and go for the shot. Now the Ram's going to come through the edit as well. He's trying to run away, and Jamside will clean that up. Gets his first elimination now done.
Yeah, gets some extra shields, a bunch of shields actually, and he's looking pretty good. I did see he had about 100 builds left. Yeah, he's in the zone, so not much he needs to do now. He does seem to have the Lagoons all to himself.
Quick update as well. Fa from Brazil, from Inns, has dropped earlier on in this round, so he's no longer to be with us. We did see Crippa fall. Aiden's going to be down as well. On top of 72 hours has fallen. A little bit of a rough time here for some of our players. Sath as well. I feel like a commentator cursed him coming into this entire solo tournament. He was the player I had to win the whole thing, but he is starting off not as strong as he'd hoped.
And I'm just loving this circle. We have players that need to rotate through the volcano. I was kind of hoping for the circle to stick around volcano for a little bit longer, but I'm going to be satisfied with this. Povity just hanging around in this little 1x1 here, right above History, who's not looking that good on health, but I do believe they're inside the circle, so they can just take a little time, maybe try to go for a third party here. His inventory looking kind of okay. Materials, not so much.
Well, we're getting closer, though, cross into that top 50. 64 left to go, and yeah, history might not be in the greatest of positions, but he also doesn't really have to move because he's inside the circles you mentioned. There's no need for him to force out a fight poverty. And a player we talked about is not really having the greatest performance in the Polish edition of this tournament, but he's still alive, still fighting now.
And I love this. Just look at Bissel's setup right next to the vent here. And he can just, I mean, if the circle moves, jump in the vent, go for a free rotation. And that's what I love about the right side, the top right side. There's so many vents. You can use them to your advantage. You can rotate pretty much through the entire side of the top right.
And I think what's cool about Bissell right now is we're seeing this heavy eliminations early, but that just means when it gets to those late stages, he's so quick at reacting and so good with his aim to be able to secure the limbs he does need to start to build up a lead. And if he runs away with this second round, I feel like everyone out there's going to have to start to look towards him as the man to beat if you want to be able to place in that top one.
Players are starting to hug each other as the circle gets closer and closer, and smaller rather. And look at that, we have Item here looking really good in his inventory. A bunch of shields, enough materials to make it to the end game. I mean, not a lot of rotation items, but as we mentioned, the vents will work in your favor. You don't really need these rotation items at this point. Rifts are always so good to have though. Once we get to those moving circles, and as you see in the minimap, you can see that supply drops actually showing up on the map now. So that's a change with this new season.
You can see, I think a player is right next to it here, looking for some sort of chance to secure it. You can see a lot of players are already inside of the circles. The Storm is going to continue to move forward. Item just trying to bide his time. I can respect this. Hupik trying to go for Shinken here on the low ground. Trying to edit his quick little window in, but we know in the next few minutes is where things are really going to start to kick off here. So Koner is also out of this fight. There's so many players they were expected to have, you know, these top 10, top 20 finishes that just haven't made it through. Even Vivid has been eliminated.
Yeah, anything can happen here, really. We see Funk Bomb here setting up a little bit. Rasuru's still alive in the bottom right corner. As you mentioned, Chinken is here. He does have a lot of health, looking really good. A little bit of shots going off here, trying to third party. I'm not quite sure, maybe people are above the storm threshold or not. Sky is still alive.
Yeah, Sky, I mean, #1 EU player basically. Able to maintain a better position here than he did before, but he's still not really into the points just yet. Tap Shotgun still here for Hunter, so he's having a rough game. A lot of players, I think that we see, Martin, have been having rough games in terms of their weaponry. Not a lot of pump shotguns, at least out there from what we've seen.
Joel's trying to push up on this guy here, but he's in such an open area, so you did get some shots fired upon him from the back. Sky seems like Sky managed to pick up some shields. I'm not quite sure. Oh, he does have some heals as well. We do see him probably applying some bandages here. Yep, so he's back on it, right? He's back on it.
Eric again has followed, unfortunately. That's going to be to Dementos this time. History able to get his elimination in onto Zypan. And Sky is just, he's being fired in from behind, from the front. Jarl and Hunter both be closing in on him to survive. This is going to be difficult. Boyer takes down Nate. And Hunter, instead of actually going for the engagement, just going to back off. Use that launch pad to get a better position, hopefully for his sake. But just look at how many players he just landed around. Kinstar is going to still be alive. Tyovsky has not fallen off the map here from the cannon this time, so he's looking to redeem himself in round 2.
And just look at this hill here. This is uphill. Players need to rotate. Really, really rough, but there is a vent there up on the top side of the map.
Yeah, that geyser. It's got to be massive, right? And the thing is, it's about the players who can adapt the quickest, because that wasn't there in Season 7. Now in Season 8, it's a free rotation technically, but just think if you're that player who can hit the shots and just wait for everyone to rush into it, clean up some eliminations yourself potentially.
That's right. You will probably predict players to start using this vent soon. So see, Hupik has a pretty good spot here, just guarding the vent. So it's not really a free rotation. It's pretty much risky. It's a high risk, high reward kind of play.
I almost want to see someone like build above it, just so if anyone tries to take it, they're just going to hit their head and not actually be able to escape. Milan has taken on Boyer, so he's gotten on the board here as well. A golden AR here for Hupik, who has that one elimination to his name, is looking for more. You can see Cloud. You can see a lot of big names here still left alive, and now the Storm Surge going to be active. You see the Geyser being used, and the Storm is going to move a little bit southwest of the volcano, so we're not going to see any action there just yet. I still really hope, Barton, that we do get the Storm to move in that direction, because we've already seen what Mountains can really do in these moving storms.
That's true. I mean, the first moving circle will move pretty far, so it could make its way all the way into the volcano, and I would just love to see that. The chaos that would ensue. Hupik taking a little bit of damage.
Yeah. And Zeke took down Milan too, so he's going to be out of the fight. Crazy Llama. Demo as well going to drop. That's to Black Shoe. Bizzle still going to be there fighting, and you can see the high ground's going to be taken from him. It's going to be Zextro, the aggressive player, looking for something. You can see Bizzle using the ramp to actually launch himself away with some distance, but he goes back to the fight nonetheless. I think it's time for him to go for these limbs, or at least he wants something.
A lot of players now joining this building. This is going to be really, I mean, just look at this. Everyone's landing pretty much on top of each other. And
yeah, 45 people left to go. And it's going to be go time here soon as the storm is going to continue to close in. You can see just how many people are guarding these guys. As you can see, even a supply drop coming through as well. That's going to be up Jules, who's going to actually look to secure this. I'm actually curious to see what he gets out of this. In the meantime, Zextro looking for some shots. Imagine down to very low HP. He actually got the elimination here, so he gets his own elim. He gets back to 200 HP. And now he's in a great position because he even has a launch pad if he needs it.
And as you said, like, he used the vent, but it was really risky. He did end up going down. I would kind of see Zextro to maybe block it. I do think the vent is blocked now, however, like you mentioned earlier, so maybe we do get to see... actually, I do think you can go above the vent and use it, although it's blocked by buildings.
Well, Kinstar got himself a nice little double. We're going to find out if you can use it from above. Probably in a few moments here. You can see Bizzle Tomo actually trying to pressure in against him. Bizzle's got the HP advantage. Item is on the transition, very low HP. Funk Bomb as well. Somehow still alive with about 10 HP to his name. If he gets this elimination onto Item, he could be looking at about 60 HP. And Zextro, Razru, both on these high ground spots.
Razru just on the high ground does have the RPG as well, and they're looking really good. He has 3 eliminations, a lot of materials to work with, and not to mention the high ground. He's in such a good spot right now.
You see Scram, he hits that geyser and immediately gets tagged up. Everyone going into these geysers can be shot at. If you hit these, you could be net yourself quite a few. Razru's up to 3. Ares has fallen to Zeke. Actually, a lot of eliminations coming through. Jordan's going to fall, so I think the X2 boys are going to be out of the fight in this round. Zeke eliminates himself, well, technically, from Storm Surge, I guess.
Yeah, and as we see, the circle starts moving north here. So Kaiser go down in the action feed. A lot of chaos going on right now. The circle is moving slowly up the mountain here on the side of the volcano. Oh, Vato taking a lot of damage when he's trying to fly with the vent. Oh.
Let's see, Isa is going to fall to Tyovsky. He's going to fall to Blood X Jules. Looks like he's basically on the ultimate high ground position. But again, with that geyser, you can never feel safe. People can just launch themselves up towards that top position. Vato, as you mentioned before, very low on HP, as well as Hunter. He's just trying to get a little bit ahead of the storm here, maybe buy some time to heal if he has anything, but he's going to fall to Funk Bomb, who was on about 10 HP before. He's been able to build himself back up to about 75. Hunter gets tagged up from Jules. He's looking to close this one out, looking to edit his way down into this one. Zextro as well, you see him just dropping back down here from the high ground, able to get back up high in the sky, but not really able to get to a good position just yet.
Will not give up high ground for the launch pad. We'll decide to keep the high ground and just extend. Item trying to claim the high ground as well, taking some damage, but not quite sure he's going to make his way out of that. We see Bizzle going down, eventually Chinken as well. Beehive not looking too good. Nikov going down. A lot of players just dropping like flies right now. Chinken down, Beehive like we mentioned. And just look at this. Jules just keep this high ground.
He's keeping his position. Now the question comes into this, Spartan. Will EU take their first victory royale here in the solo tournament of the ESL Katowice Royale? You can see Jules now looking for the drop down. He's running out of materials to build with. He actually might take a lot of damage on the wall. He eliminates himself. The myth special. Jules is going to be out of the fight. And Zextro is still going to be there somehow with about 30 HP.
Kinstar in a very good position. He has the zone on his edge, but just look at this. Razru trying to pick up some mats here, pick up some existing loot, but doesn't really get the high ground any longer.
4 limbs though. This could be a big game for Kinstar. He can easily pass Bizzle if he's able to keep this pace up. You can see Razru on 5. We're starting to see these eliminations really start to rack up as we're down to the final 4 players. It's going to be Razru towards the low ground with Kinstar to his side. Hoopek just trying to stay alive in a little 1v1 as Zextro is looking to transition as well. The Storm is continuing to move here.
Won't have time to use those bandages. The storm is moving. You need to move with it.
Can he hit the shot though? He's got the shotgun towards the high ground. He's got still 4 players left to go. You can see everyone trying to be so cautious about Razru. Who won't go down? Eliminations left and right. Now it's going to be Zextro all up against Kinstar, who's looking for this final limb. The trap goes down. The trap almost getting close to finishing someone off. And it comes down. Shotgun blast. Zextro will fall. Kinstar is going to take home our second victory royale here with 5 eliminations.
Pure chaos there at the end.
That's a great word. That's a good word to explain it, the chaos. But I think it's more of the controlled chaos you saw with those 4 players left alive.